Hey there, it's LDake again with Kale Realty, your Illinois licensed broker. And today we're going to be talking about home inspections. You know, the period after you put in your offer. All the fun and exciting stuff, right? Stick around. Okay, and we're back. So as I was saying, the inspection period, that actually happens here in Illinois anyway, after your offer has been accepted. On an initial showing, unless you kind of just wandered in on an open house, you probably went there and you've already done some initial research thinking, yeah, it's meeting my needs, but I gotta see it for myself. That point can take anywhere from 15 minutes where you walk in with either a hard no or a hard yes, or maybe you need a little more time just to get a good vibe. It's after the offer has been accepted by the seller that you're going to go into the attorney slash inspection period, which is a 5-day period for you to have your inspector look the place over with you in attendance and your agent, and also your attorney looking over all the paperwork and negotiating as needed, especially after the inspection comes back. Now keep in mind that again, it's 5 days only after the time your offer is accepted. So you need to have an inspector ready to go, okay? They do cost money and it's going to be due upon service. So count on $300 to $500. It could be a lot more if it's a really big home. But I do recommend an inspection for every property every time, even if it's as is, just to know what needs to be done, even if it's a new construction, because maybe they put it together quickly and missed something important. There's all kinds of things that the inspector is going to be looking at and noticing. What you want to be concerned with is the big ticket items and the safety items. The roof, the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical. This is all important stuff. But keep in mind that the little stuff, that's for your knowledge, because this is a really good time for you to learn about the home and little things that you can handle yourself. So on those big ticket and safety items, if the inspector catches something that's really important, maybe like the chimney or swimming pool, it might need a specialist second inspector to come out and take a look at that, which of course you would have to let the seller know that we're having a second person coming. Unless of course when you looked at the home the first time and you already saw a big crack, maybe you want to have 2 inspections scheduled. Maybe at the same time, don't know if that's going to happen, but you do want to have a specialist for one of those kind of big ticket items. And yeah, there is a cost, but this is something you need to know. Now, even on the items that you don't want the seller to address, it might actually be a better idea that instead of having the seller do it themselves or hiring someone to do it and requiring a receipt, ask for a credit and then you handle it. And the reason why is, number one, it's going to make sure that closing happens and there's not a lot of delays while we're waiting for this work to be done. But more importantly, if the seller sees that they have to do X, they're going to find it to be done the cheapest way possible to fulfill the obligation that's on the contract. If you ask for a credit, if you figure out how much it's going to cost to have this thing done, you can inspect it and watch it being done or whatever, and making sure it's done to your satisfaction. And finally, and I know I've said this in other videos, and I know this is really asking a lot, but keep in mind that at the end of the day, this is a business transaction. So, especially in the negotiating part, when we're into the inspections and stuff, try to take as much emotion out of it as possible and let your team handle it, such as your agent, your attorney, your inspector, and so on. And just remember that at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that want to see you get the home you love. And that includes folks on the other teams, such as the seller. They want you to have the home. Their attorney, their agent, and of course, the loan folks, the title folks. Everybody's in this together to make sure that you get your home. So, what questions do you have? I know you've got at least one more. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm LDake with Kale Realty, your Illinois licensed broker. And as always, I always have time for your referrals.